Tonight on SUTV News, the Board of Governors had some unexpected visitors today. Find out how it could affect the possible faculty strike.
And it's not every day you see a campus-wide chain of bras, but Monday might just be one of those days.
All that and more right now.
Thanks for joining us on SUTV News. I'm Isabella Marcelino.
And I'm Marina Barnett. We are less than 2 weeks away from the strike date set by APSCUF, our faculty union. Today, members rallied at the Board of Governors meeting in Harrisburg. More than 500 APSCUF members showed up this morning to rally for their contract. They wanted the board to see their faces and hear their stories and hoped that the state system would take another step closer to negotiating a fair contract. After 19 months without a contract, professors are demanding a fair contract negotiation. They want it, and they want it now.
Absolutely. We will not be parties to the destruction of public higher education in Pennsylvania. So if they're going to attack quality, we're not going to deal with that.
On the outside, the shouts were loud. On the inside, faculty spoke straight to the board to explain the current proposal's impact that would increase adjunct staff's responsibility and decrease their pay.
They spoke about themselves, they spoke about their students and their interaction and how that is sincerely at risk given the proposals.
But Pashy says that's not their only option.
Temporary faculty is on the table, but adjusting the workload, but there are other things that are on the table as well. And we need to have the APSCUF be willing and to talk with us about some way to save the money that we need to save in order to keep our education affordable to students.
The state system says the biggest factor is it's getting the same state funding since 1999, not including inflation.
So this is really a budget issue. It's not an issue, there's no question our faculty are tremendous and do a great job.
APSCUF doesn't think that's the only option.
We know there's money. We question their priorities.
There is one thing that both sides do agree on. They don't want to strike.
We don't believe a strike is the answer. We believe the bargaining table is the answer.
APSCUF wants students to be involved in this process and wants us to be informed. At Shippensburg, we've already had one informational meeting, and you can expect another one on Wednesday. Once this contract is settled, APSCUF President Ken Mash says he will do whatever it takes to make sure students don't have to go through this again.
When this is over, we need to sit down together and figure out what's wrong with this process. Our students deserve better than every 4 years going through this.
Right, yeah, obviously. The APSCUF student meeting here at SHIP is Wednesday in Dolphin 151 at 7 o'clock. And of course, we'll keep you up to date on our website and social media. Voters have 2 more chances to compare candidates with 2 more presidential debates. On Tuesday, the vice presidents took their turn at the podium.
Let me talk about this
Senator,
issue
I think I'm still on my time.
Well, isn't this a discussion?
In a CNN poll, a majority of viewers felt that Mike Pence, Donald Trump's running mate, swept the competition. The final 2 presidential debates are on October 9th and October 19th.
Shippensburg University is hosting the first ever Bras Across Campus event this Monday. The event is an outreach of Feel Your Boobies, whose mission is to promote proactive breast health to young women. The Bras Across Campus campaign is aimed specifically at college women. This past month, students fundraised and collected bras to support the foundation and the education mission. Shippensburg has raised about $1,800 so far, surpassing the initial goal of $500. On Monday, the campaign concludes with the Bras Across Campus and a visit from the Feel Your Boobies founder, Lee Hirsch.
At the event, we have a few speakers, so Lee herself will be speaking. 2 of our students from SUTV actually created a documentary, so that's really exciting. We'll be watching that. One of the survivors from the documentary will also be speaking, and then we're going to display the bra chain.
Everyone is encouraged to come to the rally dressed in pink to spread awareness. The inaugural event is at 7 in the Cub NPR. Campus turned from fall to spring on Tuesday when students, faculty, and supporters planted tulips in honor of victims of domestic intimate abuse. People planted while others shared stories of their experiences. Planters wrote words of encouragement and support of the cause on personalized paper tulips. The event is part of the Ship No More campaign. You can get more by going to sutvnews.com and searching tulips.
A new pizza shop is coming to Shippensburg at the end of this month. Big Richard's will open on Richard Street.
Hopefully October 17th, and we'll be running late night specials. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We'll be open until about 3 a.m.
Next week, SUTV's Joe Lutz pulls a chair up to the table at Big Richard's to give us a taste of the new restaurant. Gas? Check. Soda? Check. Chips? Check. Wine? Check. Check if you are of age and have stopped at the Sheetz in Shippensburg. If you are ever in the mood for some wine, you no longer have to travel to the liquor store. Shippensburg Sheetz is the first convenience store in the corporation's chain to get a license to sell wine in Pennsylvania this past Monday. The store is allowed to sell takeout wine under the new state liquor law known as ABC and Wine Privatization Act, which allows wine to be sold in granting wine licenses to grocery stores, restaurants, and hotels. Customers are allowed to purchase up to 4 bottles in one visit. To learn more, go to sutvnews.com /Sheetz. The UK still has lasting issues from the Brexit referendum.
And a Canadian car accident had some unlikely victims. Don't go away.
He just came in and said, "You have cancer." My whole life changed. My career was over. Everything was done.
Thinking like, I could be 20 and there's a possibility I might have cancer.
You know, when I wake up in the morning, it's definitely the hardest because it's like back to reality.
Listen, if I could take cancer back, I would, in a second. But it's not the way the world works. And in that sense, I have to be thankful because cancer did give me my dream. And my dream was always to have my own fashion line.
Let's wake up the youth. Let's let them know they're not invincible, and let's save more lives from that message.
An attack on police in Brussels.
And a hurricane wreaks havoc on Haiti. Here's your world news.
Hurricane Matthew devastated the country of Haiti when it caused a landfall earlier this week. The Category 4 storm killed at least 2 people. The southern coast of the island was hit especially hard. Massive flooding is reported. Communications are down and a crucial bridge connecting the north and south sides of the country collapsed, stranding people on both sides. The British pound has fallen to its lowest level against the US dollar since 1985. The pound has been hammered by fears of a hard Brexit after the British Prime Minister David Cameron said that Britain would leave the European Union by 2019. Cameron has since resigned and says he will be giving his position to a new Prime Minister in a few months. A truck carrying 180 pigs flipped in Burlington, Ontario, Canada. 40 of the pigs on the way to a nearby slaughterhouse died in the car crash. Protesters arrived as workers were corralling the pigs, and one woman was arrested for crossing police tape and going against the orders of the officers at the scene. Belgian authorities say 2 police officers have been stabbed in the capital of Brussels. The federal prosecutor's office says it's treating the incident as a possible terror attack, and that the officers' injuries aren't life-threatening. Local media report an attacker is in custody. The city has been on high alert since bombings at the city's airport and in a subway station back in March.
From fall break to football, the Slate has it all.
Here's Thomas with the Slate preview.
News reports on the Student Senate Q&A about the potential strike. ShipLife covers the tulip planting ceremony. Sports highlights the football game against Westchester. Opinion writes about things you can do over fall break. And entertainment highlights ABBA the concert at Lurs. Check out the Slate on newsstands on Tuesday and keep up all week on theslateonline.com. I'm Thomas Whitmer.
When we come back, see why Shippensburg has gotten a lot of postcards this week.
And find out who is coming to Lurs Performing Arts Center this Friday. Well, it was such a beautiful fall day today. I had my sweater on. It was great.
I know, it's definitely starting to feel more like October and not like August.
Yes. Let's send it over to Rebecca with this week's weather.
To cool temperatures down this week. Tonight, mostly clear skies and a low of 52. Tomorrow, it's another partly cloudy day with a high of 74 and a low of 60. Let's take a look at our 5-day. We are looking at a cool weekend here in Ship. Saturday brings showers with a high of 66 and a low of 47. On Sunday, the sun comes back out with a high of 65 and a low of 45. The sun continues to shine for the start of our week with a high of 63 on Monday and 65 Tuesday with some clouds. Rain or shine, take some time to enjoy this lovely fall weather. Have a fabulous weekend, Ship.
Welcome to this week's entertainment. Let's get started. This Friday, ABBA tribute group is making its way to Ship. The group performs and plays the most iconic ABBA hits, including Mamma Mia, Dancing Queen, SOS, and much more. Come dance, sing, and have the time of your life. The concert starts at 8 tomorrow night. If you missed Dancing with the Stars on Monday night, there was a twist to the end of one dance. A surprise marriage proposal happened with professional dancer Sasha Farber when he got down on one knee live and proposed to fellow dancer Emma Slater. The couple has been dating for 5 years, and of course, she said yes. Act 5 brings a comedy play to Shippensburg in November. 37 Postcards is about a young man, Avery Sutton, who returns to his home in Connecticut after traveling to Europe for years. Once home, he finds that nothing is the way he left it. The house is tilted at an angle, Avery's grandmother is very much alive after being presumed dead, and the dog has not been fed in 5 years. Avery has to choose whether to accept these changes or to leave them behind.
This normal house, and you just see, 37 postcards. That sounds like a normal title. But in reality, it's like a whole twist on the characters, and there are some characters you don't even expect to say certain things or do certain things, and I hope to make people laugh.
The play runs November 11th and 12th at 8 and on the 13th at 2. Tickets are $2 for students with an ID and $5 for the general public. That's all we have for entertainment. See you next time.
When we come back in sports, sophomore Ryan Zapaticki went down with an injury last week against Lock Haven.
Stay tuned for how long the starter will be on the sideline.
Junior Ryan Zapaticki sustained a broken right fibula in the second quarter of last week's 38-16 win over Lock Haven. Zapaticki is expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks, possibly returning for the last game of the season and the playoffs. Sophomore Chase Yoakum will step up for Zapaticki in his first career start this Saturday at Westchester. After a dominant performance against Lock Haven, Shippensburg senior Alan Holman is the PSAC East Defensive Player of the Week.
A lot of patience because I felt I was waiting for not waiting for it, but I've been working hard. It's something I wanted to achieve, definitely.
Holman recorded 13 tackles and 2 forced fumbles, helping the Raiders to improve to 4-1. The Shippensburg women's field hockey team defeated Westchester University Tuesday. Josh Charles has the highlights.
The Raiders faced off against the Rams Tuesday and continued to dominate with a 3-1 win. Westchester came out firing, scoring a 2-minute goal by Rachel Toppy off of a penalty corner. The Raiders would return the favor as forward Casey Rah would score off a deflection by the shot of teammate Kylie Huffman. Shippensburg, however, grabbed the lead before halftime with a goal by forward Brooke Zeigers. The Raiders continued to dominate as Cassie Rah scored a second goal in the 40th minute of the game, recording her 3rd goal of the season. A strong Raiders defense and the work of redshirt sophomore goalie Allie Mooney led the Raiders to victory. Shippensburg advanced their record to 11-1 on the season and 4-0 in the PSAC Conference. For SUTV, I'm Josh Charles.
The Raiders host Slippery Rock this Saturday at Robb Sports Complex at 11 o'clock. After a strong showing at the Paul Short Invitational, Casey Norton was named PSAC Cross Country Athlete of the Week.
It's a good feeling. It's definitely a confidence booster for these championship meets like the PSAC meet and the regional meet. So I'm really excited.
This marks the second time Norton has won the award this season. As the clouds rolled away on Wednesday, Ship men's soccer returned home in pursuit of a winning record. Darby Sells has the highlights.
The Ship men's soccer team hosted the Seton Hill Griffins Wednesday in a PSAC matchup. The physical play was an integral part of the game with 37 fouls in the match. The Griffins dominated most of the first half with quick passes. Seton Hill's Rory McKinnon found the net on a curveball with just under 4 minutes to go in the half. Coming out of halftime, Ship needed to match Seton Hill's aggressiveness and shot count. Seton Hill outshot Ship 23-6. Although Ship took more possession of the ball in the second half, it wasn't enough to come back for the tie. Seton Hill takes the W and Ship moves to a 5-6 record. For SUTV, I'm Darby Sells.
Ship hosts Mercyhurst this Saturday at 1:30. Women's soccer came into Wednesday's matchup against Seton Hill after a tough 3-0 loss at Gannon. Bernadette Koff has the highlights.
Seton Hill got on the board early in the first, but Ship's strong offense countered with 2 goals from Ashley Weaver and Casey Reitmeyer. The Griffins evened the score 2-2 before the half. Quick footwork and solid defense from both teams kept most of the second half scoreless. With 11 minutes to go, Weaver came back with her second goal, pushing Ship ahead. Ship defeated Seton Hill 3-2. For SUTV Sports, I'm Bernadette Koff.
The women will take on Mercyhurst Saturday at 4. Allison Van Syke was named interim head coach of Shippensburg softball, replacing longtime coach Bob Brookins. Matt Kleindienst has more on Shippensburg's new head coach.
Shortly after Bob Brookins announced his retirement after 16 years as the softball head coach, Athletic Director Jeff Michaels promoted Allison Van Syke to the position.
I had heard from our administrators, Jeff and Carrie, about 2 weeks ago, and they had offered the position as the interim head coach. So I was really excited and I accepted, and that's kind of how we got to today.
Van Syke has been an assistant coach under Brookins for the past 4 years. She was hired after finishing her collegiate softball career at the University of Virginia.
I was very blessed to be able to join staff right out of school at Virginia, and I think he was a tremendous game manager, and I learned a lot about lineups and situations, and I'm just really thankful for that experience.
Van Syke is also a native of Shippensburg, giving a leg up on connecting with the local softball players. She hopes to see her team improve in the mental game and play better in pressure situations with one ultimate goal in mind.
And ultimately, I think our goal is to get back into PSACs. If we can do that, I think we'll just continue on that winning trend from year to year.
If the Raiders can make it back to the PSAC tournament, it will be the first time since 2014. For SUTV Sports, I'm Matt Kleindienst.
That's it for sports. Let's head back to the desk.
Well, that's it for SUTV News. I'm Marina Barnett.
And I'm Isabella Marcelino. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at SUTV News, and check out our website, SUTVnews.com.
We'll see you next time.